Hi there and welcome to the screencast. Tonight I'm going to solve some of the problems you may see on tomorrow or Tuesday's quiz on advanced factoring techniques, which is study guide 11. So let's get to it. Alright, in the first problem here I'm asked to factor what turns out to be the sum of perfect cubes. However, before I do any factoring of any higher order factoring patterns, I always want to factor a common factor if there is one. So I can see by the fact that 16 and 2 are both even numbers that I can factor out of 2. So I'm going to do that, and that's going to leave me with 8 plus x cubed. Alright, now I'm going to rewrite 8 as 2 cubed. So now I'm going to have 2 cubed plus x cubed. And now this just follows the factoring pattern of the sum of perfect cubes, where if I have a cubed plus b cubed, that will factor to be a plus b times a squared minus ab plus b squared. Okay, so I can see here that a is going to be 2 for this problem, and b is going to be x. So now all I need to do is substitute in 2 and x into the formula. So I'm going to get 2 plus x, and that's going to be 2 squared, which is 4, and then minus ab, so that's going to be minus 2x, and then lastly plus b squared, that's going to be plus x squared. And then I shouldn't forget that I also have a 2 that I factored out at the very beginning of the problem. So that's as far as I can go with it, and I am finished. Alright, the first few words in tonight's secret sentence are the Roxbury High School varsity football team. That's the Roxbury High School varsity football team. Alright, moving on. In the next problem, before I do anything else, I can also see that there's a GCF I can factor out. So, and it's going to be 2. So I'm going to factor out the 2, and that's going to give me something that looks like this. And now I'm just going to use quadratic form factoring. I have a trinomial, so I'm going to be looking for two numbers that multiply to be 40 and add up to negative 14. And those would be negative 4 and negative 10. So I know I'm going to have negative 4 there, negative 10 there, an x there, and an x there. And because we're talking about x to the 4th, the first term in each of the binomials is going to be x squared instead of x squared minus 10. Alright, it looks like I'm not done just yet, because I can see I have the difference of perfect squares here with the x squared minus 4. So that's going to factor to be x plus 2, x minus 2, and lastly the x squared minus 10 is as far as that can go, and I am all finished. Alright, the next few words in tonight's secret sentence are has made. Okay, moving on. Lastly, it looks like I have a factoring by grouping problem. Okay, even though I can tell that I'm going to be doing factoring by grouping, I should always look for a common factor before I do anything else in all 4 terms. And it looks to me like all of these numbers, I don't think there is a common factor. So I'm going to go straight to factoring by grouping. And to do factoring by grouping, first of all, I look at the first 2 terms and factor out a common factor, or the common factor, which is 3x squared. So I'm going to do 3x squared. It's going to give me 5x, and that's going to give me 6. And now I move on to the second 2 terms, and I do the same thing. I factor out a common factor. So it looks like it's going to be 4. So it's going to be 4 times 5x plus 6. Alright, now I'm going to move the 5x plus 6 down here, move 3x squared plus 4 there, and I am all set. And that is my factored form. And the final few words in tonight's secret sentence are the state finals. All right, I hope you had a nice weekend and get a good night's sleep, and we will see you either tomorrow or on Tuesday. Cheers.